Okay, it's December 27th. Typical monsoon weather we're having at the moment and have had for the last few weeks, which is really sending the garden off. We're going to just do a quick little garden update, wet season garden update. I've put in a lot more seed and got that up and running, and then I'm going to show you where the gardens are sitting at the moment. Okay, so this is the seed that I've planted. That's squash, the yellow squashes, some more pumpkin seeds. I can't remember what I put in there. Zucchinis, yellow and green. I've got capsicums, a mixed variety, the yellow variety, and these ones are the green variety, ordinary everyday capsicums. These are a second lot of bush. They're bush cucumbers, those four. And as you can see, I've put the cages around them. So these are the ones I planted up here a while ago. They're really starting to take off. Same thing, they're a cucumber. Some of them are bush cucumbers, some of them are Lebanese cucumbers. So cucumbers just the same. Herbs in there, lemon basil and basil, and some Brazilian spinach just there. My chili plant's doing pretty good at the moment. They really don't like a lot of rain, and if you keep them up out of in the garden beds, they seem to do a lot better because they drain well. As you can see, both of the lemon grasses are going off their nut. There's a couple more cucumbers, and of course the Brazilian spinach here. As you can see, it's quite a leafy plant. I mean, that's all spinach. That's all edible. All of that. Really quite nice to eat, and really good for the chooks as well. Produces quite a lot of foliage, and you trim it up and you feed that to the chooks. Pumps your egg production up through the roof. So I've got a combination of both eggplants, the long purple eggplants and the ordinary eggplants in here, and bush zucchinis and bush cucumbers, sorry. They're going off their nut. And this one here is this climbing spinach. I've got this one in here. I've got quite a large cage around it because it does get, I noticed the first one I planted, it just took over the whole of this area here. I planted two of them in here, and it took it over and it climbed up and then it fell back over itself. So I'm going to train this up and try and get it to climb round the whole area and get it to grow over this whole thing. I've trimmed the absolute bejesus out of the mango tree. Everybody's doing that this time of the year, all the commercial property, so I've trimmed the shit out of that, keep it down a bit. Grows on new wood, so it's a little bit rugged, but you know, it should be bounced back for next year. And I've planted in here, if you can see those through there, that's the first of my zucchinis. Those 1, 2, 3, 4 zucchinis are the green zucchinis, and these two over here are the yellow zucchinis. I've just cut up the tank this morning. Cut the tank into a couple of pieces. As you can see, there was a bit of damage to it when it came down, so I will get rid of that piece there. I'll take that fitting off because I'll use that somewhere. Actually, I'll take all those fittings off. I cleaned this area up with a bobcat a little while ago, flattened out some of the stuff, picked out some of the rocks. I've got a couple of rocks to take out of here, and then I'll backblade in between it, and then I'll put a combination of cow manure, and because we have a feedlot down the road, so I'll use a combination of cow manure and garden mulch. So the mulch that's at the tips that gets shredded. I don't know where we get a lot of it up here in the Northern Territory. So I'll bulk those up with that, and then I'll go over it with a cup, maybe 100 ml or 200 ml of the garden mix. which will all then filter down through all of that, and will break down and make a really good compost and organic matter, and then I'll top it up next year. I will plant in these beds this year with those seeds over there. I don't know how hot it's going to be as far as with the cow manure and all of the organic matter breaking down, so I'll just see how that goes. But it should work pretty well, I would say. And then I'm going to clean up in and around this area, tidy this up, grass it, mow it, and then that's another area which was a fire problem previously. As you can see, I put a fire through here probably about 5 weeks ago, I suppose. And as you can see, it grows up quite quickly. This grass will grow up to be between 6 and 8 foot tall. And when it dies off, it's quite a fire problem. So I will be doing my best in this area particularly. This year I'll concentrate on keeping all of this down. I'll poison, I'll run through with a bobcat and pick out a whole bunch of rocks, because there's a lot of rock in here, and try and flatten it out with the bobcat and tidy it up so I can stay on top of it with the mower. And the areas, there's a lot of actual big embedded deep rock here, so what I will do over the time, I will actually go and dump all of my excess material in over the top of that rock, and I'll use that also as garden beds and raised garden beds, whether I use it to plant trees in or whether I use it to plant vegetables in is another thing. I'm not sure. Hey, you guys. And of course the dogs are fighting. This is a puppy from next door, and this is Frog Boy. Froggy, nice. Play nicely, please. What's your name, little boy? Come on. So the gardens are going really, really well. Already, as you can see, the long eggplants have already got some fruit on them. I've taken some fruit off, took it away to a friend's place for Christmas. This is the traditional eggplant, which has got a fruit on it. The cucumbers are going off, plenty of flowers on it. I don't know if you can, there's one there. So there's a cucumber already, just on that one. These have only been in, 4 weeks maybe not even that, and they're really going off. So this garden is going to overtake everything. In hindsight, probably should have planted these a little bit further apart, but that'll be a lesson learnt for next year. And these are pumpkins. I planted some zucchinis and a few other things in here. Zucchinis. I planted some bush cucumber. I think this one here is the only surviving bush cucumber, or cucumbers. That one there and that one there are pumpkins. I planted some zucchinis in through here today, so we'll see how they go. And I'll just see how this bed pans out as far as what takes over what. I would like to try and get probably something more in the middle there that'll get up above all of the pumpkins, but we'll just see how we go. Nicely, please. And got some of the fruit trees here. As you can see, that's a lime. That one's struggled for a while. Come on, Froggy, come on. That one there is a grapefruit. Grapefruit there, and the lime tree, West Indian lime, which grows really, really well. As you can see, there's a shitload of fruit on there, and more flowers coming on. So this is going to continue to produce for at least half this year, and it'll roll into the dry season. It'll probably drop off in the dry season. I'll prune it, and it has been doing extremely well. The fruit is awesome. It's an awesome tasting fruit. Got lots of flavour, lots of juice. Whilst it's only small, it's only a small fruit. They don't really get much bigger than that, but it is full of flavour. Awesome for cooking, awesome for drinks. Just an all-round good plant. Really nice. And this is a second one. I've got a second one in over here. Same thing, it's West Indian lime. Planted a year or so after that guy there, but it's starting to come along. I think it might be getting a little bit too much shade, which makes it, it doesn't produce as much, but it's done pretty well last few years. It's, you know, I probably get, you know, 40, 50 fruit off of it. This one here, I would say I'll probably get 300-400 fruit off of that this year. And this garden bed here, I haven't really had that much produced out of that, except sweet potato. So, and when I initially put it in, I had some really good eggplants come out here. So I may throw in another couple of eggplants in here, keep them going. But I've also got, can't remember what those are. I think they might be tomatoes, those right there. But I've also got these barrels over here. Probably made a little bit of mistake using these barrels for this, and I should have used something else. But hopefully I'll get an opportunity to plant. I was intending on planting zucchinis in here, but those cabbage seedlings coming up. So I'll let them get up to. Oh, sorry, actually they're not cabbage seedlings. They are beetroot seedlings. So I'll actually probably will leave those in there, and they'll come up, and I'll just harvest the leaves off of those, because the beetroot leaves are actually very nice to eat, very good for you, a lot of antioxidants. So we'll keep those going over this wet season, and then we'll harvest the beetroots at the end of it. And the Pride of India is really starting to flower. Lovely. Just been and mowed down the back and cleaned up and mowed all the back lawn. So I've had a little bit of break in the weather. It's starting to rain again. Doesn't look like it's going to stop for the next week. So it's going to be another wet week, which is good. We need the wet weather. You can see down the back there, there's another Pride of India down there. And the raised garden bed there, that's just planted out with natives and a few other bits and pieces, just to make that a bit of an ornamental garden. I'll just give this space. I don't know if that's any better or not. Anyway, that's what it is. Okay, so big tree. Need to prune that back up. Got some die off on that, and I don't know why. It seems to. The tree itself seems to be healthy, but it just seems to die off for some reason. I don't know why. It produces fruit, and then that part of the branch dies off. I don't understand what's going on there. Another grapefruit tree. Another lime tree there. This little fella's struggling a little bit. He doesn't get as much loving as everybody else. Tamarind. That's a tamarind tree. And I've just cleaned up through in here, and got to get the bobcat in and level that out and then mow this down. So all the way back up through here, I've started going through. I've planted sweet potato in through all these rocks. Sweet potato, watermelon, pumpkin, and cucumbers. I will also plant in some zucchinis through here. I've poisoned. I will poison again once the rain stops. As you can see, that's an area I levelled out with the bobcat a while ago on my YouTube page. And I've mowed that once. As you can see, it's quite wet, so I'm not even going to entertain going in there with the mower. I need to tidy up in around here, get rid of some of this rubbish down the back, and put it in the fire burn area, or in the burn area. So the dogs have managed to kill 99.9% of the chickens. So whilst I don't have any chickens in here, I am going through, and I've planted some Brazilian spinach in there, some climbing spinach, the pumpkins, and the tomatoes, and all of the other bits and pieces, all the creepies that we've been feeding the chickens are now starting to sprout. So I'm going to let them take this area over. for the time being. I'm going to indulge all of these things to grow up and get this going really good. And then I'm going to clean this chicken house out next year. I'll clean this chicken house up, and then I'm going to start a good concerted effort in having chickens going on a... I've always had chickens, but I like to make sure that they get some free ranging time, so they get out and they go through the gardens and they clean up, and they have at least 2 days out of the week free ranging, minimum, and they're not locked in there all the time, because I definitely wouldn't like to be locked in there all the time. So even in the afternoons when I'm here, I like to have them out and running around, but not this dog here, but my other dogs. Unfortunately, they're younger pups, and they took a liking to killing them early on, and they've never broken out of that habit. So going to have to sort that out next year. Can't have dogs killing me chickens. I also want to bring in some more guinea fowl and get some peacocks in here as well. So anyway, that's the garden update for as you can see, everything's super green at the moment. It's looking pretty awesome. Got a heap of grass growing. It's just, this time of the year is awesome for the grass growing. As you can see, that's the other side of where the new rings are for the garden, raised garden beds. As you can see, there's a shitload of rock in there. I need to go in there with Bobcat. I've already been in there and knocked out some of the bigger rock. Need to now go and grab it, pull it out, drop it down the back in an area to store it, and then level this off and then keep the grass down. And my intention with this is to go over this with more garden rings and have basically this whole area with raised garden beds and mowed around, and these natural trees. So, and then plant the odd fruit tree in amongst it all as well, just to give it a bit of a flow-on effect. Keeps the garden beds, make the gardens really easy to maintain, and they work out to be really easy to keep and look after. And once they're, as per, human beings are pretty lazy individuals, so if you can make it nice and easy for it to happen, you'll stay on top of it. And takes a bit of work to get going to start with, but once you get it in place and it's happening, it's an excellent thing. So give you an update in another 4 weeks. Hopefully we'll be picking something. Alright, so all good. Hope to see you soon. Bye.